Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to a very special extra interview of Final Cut. Today I'm joined by an actress who has starred in pretty much her fair share of English drama. So let's go and meet the lady. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honour and privilege to give you Tina Louise Owens.
Hi, nice to meet you, dear.
Likewise. Hope you're well on this rather cold day.
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
So how did you get started out in acting?
Well, I actually started doing supporting artist work, which was basically what got me into it. And obviously I had a lot of friends who were interested in it as well, and sort of took it from there.
So, who were your influences growing up? Who did you want to emulate when you became an actress?
Just all the general ones, like when we were growing up kids, and it was all the action things like Starsky and Hutch and all them sorts of dramas and the movies that were around at the time, and Back to the Future, and they always looked at things that like you'd be interested in doing, and you always thought, it'd be amazing to be a part of all that.
Now, you've been in a lot of TV series, British TV, I should point out. There's been Bulletproof, Victoria, Cold Feet, Ackley Bridge, to name but a few. You certainly can pick the good ones.
Yeah, some of the best. They've been really good to be a part of. Even some of them just small part, you know. But I think a really good one was All Creatures Great and Small.
Oh, yeah.
Something we remembered as children, and obviously it's something you sort of grow up thinking, wow, that's amazing, and you never sort of think you could be part of that when they remake it in however many years' time.
Yeah, I'm going to say you've actually starred in a couple of soaps as well. You've starred in Hollyoaks and Emmerdale, so are you looking to star in Coronation Street and EastEnders and Doctors as well to sort of complete
Sorry to interrupt
sorry.
you there. I'd love to be in Coronation Street. I don't think I'd probably get down to EastEnders at the moment, the way things are, but it's a nice one for the future.
But you definitely...
normally end up having little parts of them there quite often, for some strange reason.
But you definitely like to, I'll say, do the trivecta of all British soapland.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and everybody's really nice as well, which makes it a lot better. You sort of fit in; it's like part of a family.
Yeah, I hear that quite a bit actually, and that's mainly what everyone else says. Whether it be a movie or a TV series or a soap, everyone's kind of like one big family.
Yeah, definitely the way it is. It's a really nice industry to work in, actually.
Now, you haven't just starred in TV series and soaps, you've actually done movies. You actually starred in Supernova with Colin Firth. Did he have that? Yeah. Does he still have that Colin Firth presence about him, as in Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of them. He's kind of one of them big actors that you never sort of think, well, I'm going to be sitting around a dinner table with him. And then all of a sudden you're like thrown into that situation. And as I said, he was really nice, really genuine person to work with.
Because he starred in so much, and sometimes I just wonder, is he actually as nice as he makes out it is? As he is, sorry. But
you know what, he really is. I was quite surprised because, as I said, you sort of have there's some people give off a certain persona of how they are, and you sort of think, oh, you get to meet them and you think, oh, they're not going to be nice people or something like that. He actually is a really nice, genuine person.
That's nice to know if he somehow comes my way in the next couple of years. So, speaking of movies, you were also in my fiance's favourite movie of last year, Yesterday. What was that like?
Oh, that was an amazing one to be part of. I don't think when we did it originally we thought it was going to be as big as it was. But then all of a sudden it sort of gained momentum. I think it was obviously the Beatles' influence and Danny Boyle and Richard Curtis, combination has just made the film as well. And obviously the cast were brilliant. And meeting Danny Boyle and Richard Curtis, I think, was one of the highlights. Well,
to be fair, Danny Boyle is very well known for his I'll say his varied go towards movies. He doesn't just stick in one genre. He has quite a few because he's done quite a few different genres. So he is actually quite what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what is the word I'm looking for. It's quite not sort of robust, but kind of that's it, adaptable.
Yeah, definitely.
I was thinking of a word. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's very quite adaptable. And Richard Curtis, as we know, all I've got to say is Love Actually. That's all you really need to know, really.
Yeah, well, that's all. It's all of them big films, isn't it, that you sort of look at and you think, oh, they're so lovely.
Now you're actually an actress, but would you like to step into musical theatre in the future?
Do you know what? I love musical theatre. It's one of my favourite things, but obviously, sadly, at the moment, there's not a lot of that around. But I'd love to do it, but the only problem is I can't sing, so that's not the best.
Neither can Pierce Brosnan, but he's still starred in Mamma Mia.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, you can't be as bad as him. It's like every single time I hear Pierce Brosnan sing it, I just cringe. Like the cringiest of the cringe, I just go.
The thing is, he did it, and he still went out there and he did it, and I think it come together really well.
That's fair enough then. Now you're in a certain Marvel movie, I believe. I believe you're in Morbius next year. So, are you excited about being cast in that?
I'm really excited about it. I think my son's really unimpressed when I tell him things I'm doing. My son's at uni now, but he's a big Marvel fan, and I told him I was going to be in this, and he was sort of like finally had an interest in what I was doing, and so it was like, wow, really? Whereas normally it's just, oh, okay.
Oh, bless him. But still, it's nice to see that his mum can do something that he does actually like. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah. He keeps saying to me next time, he said, oh, when you make it to Doctor Who or Star Wars, then I'll be impressed too.
He's not a DC fan then, is he?
Sorry?
He's not a DC Comics fan, is he?
Not as much now.
Yeah. Oh, so if you got a part in a DC TV series or movie, he wouldn't be that impressed?
Oh, it'll be marginally impressive, but not as much as the Marvel ones.
Oh, he's a Marvel fan, is he? I must admit, I'm a DC fan and a Marvel fan, but DC as far as animated movies and Batman goes, but Marvel, I do like the movies because they're both sort of good on their own merits. I mean, if you ever get a chance, DC has an animated universe, which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I do believe so. So you're looking forward to the new Batman one then?
I'm sort of a bit, well, I was a bit on edge to begin with, because obviously it's Robert Pattinson, and it's like, right, can he... But I must admit, I have been doing some research, and he has actually been playing a lot of, like, roles that would suit that, and I did see the trailer, and I was mightily impressed.
Yeah, I think it might be quite good, actually. It's just, obviously I've seen little clips of filming they've been doing. I was supposed to be getting involved in that one, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So sadly, we're not sure what's going on at the moment with that one.
I heard they're filming in Liverpool.
Yeah, they are. I was supposed to be filming there with them, but sadly, one of these scenes I was supposed to be in, I was driving in one of the scenes, and sadly, the scene got cut because they couldn't have as many people they couldn't have crowds of people.
Yeah.
So sadly, I couldn't go ahead and do that part that I was meant to be doing. So.
Oh, I am so sorry. I genuinely am sorry, because that's kind of what every Batman fan really wants to do, which is star in a Batman movie or do something in the Batman universe. But who knows? Yeah, there is plenty of time yet, and there's plenty of movies, because I think there's going to be a trilogy, I think, with Matt Reeves as Batman. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot where I was for a minute. How do you decide when you're looking at scripts the roles that you'd like to audition for?
As long as it's got a good story and it's something you can get your teeth into, I think it's good. It's like a good book, really. And I think if you can enjoy a story and sort of, get to know the characters and get into it like a book, then you think it's something to go for, I think.
Mm. So, obviously, you've done a fair bit of filming around Britain, so where have been some of your favourite locations to film in Britain?
I think probably doing Supernova in the Lake District was one of my favourites. I've done a lot of filming in Yorkshire on things, but I think the Lake District is just about the best for me, because the scenery, you're constantly surrounded by that scenery, and it's just so tranquil, and it's a lovely place to work. Yeah,
Taylor Swift, actually, I think she wrote a song about how good the Lake District was. I mean, Henry Cavill's been actually putting on, I think he put on Twitter the other day, about how much he actually has enjoyed staying in the Lake District. So looks like the Lake, so Lake District is certainly getting a reputation of where he should go.
Yeah, I think a lot of the filming seems to be moving to the Lake District and like the Yorkshire Dales and places like that, because I think obviously it's a bit easier to commute to than London.
Defo.
Obviously, you've got the lovely scenery around you as well.
I find that every TV series or movie you watch teaches you a different lesson in life. So, what has every movie or TV series you filmed taught you about life?
It's just meeting different people, really, and doing different parts and meeting the different cast and the different people and the different crew and hearing about their stories, basically, and how they come to be what they're doing. And you learn something from every film. I think every film and TV series, every person you speak to, it's just meeting people from so many diverse backgrounds, really.
Because I have actually been like that, because Gladiator has always taught me to be humble and always be nice to those. Because it is kind of like one of those movies, it's where it's like Russell Crowe is absolutely lovely, everyone loves him as a general. Even when he was cast out as a gladiator, everyone still loved him. So, excuse me. Obviously, that's in front of the camera. So, have you ever thought about stepping behind the cameras, maybe a writer, director, or producer?
I do love writing, but I think I'd probably be more good at writing children's books and things like that, which I enjoy. But no, not really.
I'm going to say Rochelle Humes has actually done some kids' books, and she's done rather well. So, might be worth.
Yeah, you never know, do you?
Yeah, might be worth being an avenue to look into.
Yeah, well, I've got a young granddaughter, so I tend to make up little stories for her too.
Oh, bless you. Right, this next part is just a little section that I'd like your insight into, seeing as you are an actress and you probably have a fairly decent-minded opinion. So if somebody is having a decision where they feel they're going nowhere with their entertainment career, what advice would you give them to not give up?
Just basically keep going and take advice from actors and people who you speak to on set. Take their advice and listen to what they have to say. Basically, apply for everything and don't think anything's too small a part for you, really, because that's where it starts, isn't it? Everybody's got to start somewhere, and you just keep working and be reliable more than anything, I think. Because if you turn up late for things, people don't want to know.
Yeah.
It doesn't set a good example when you turn up late, or you don't bother turning up at all. And then it's quite a small community, and word does get round. And at the end of the day, you want your reputation to be a good one.
Yep. I actually have started small, and I actually got somebody on my bucket list a couple of weeks ago. I actually interviewed Radha Mitchell, and I was more than happy with that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep, she's a lovely lady.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Definitely.
I say, it's always good. You meet some lovely people.
I'm still waiting for a lot of others, but majority of them I have actually quite looking forward to interviewing a lot of who I've got coming up. So we'll see if that theory holds true. Right. Obviously, the pandemic has kind of put cinema into a bit of a poo, I'll say. So with that being said, do you think cinemas will soon be replaced by, say, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV? I'll say HBO Max, even though we won't have it for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus.
I don't think they will. I don't think they ever will, because it's like the theatre. It's the atmosphere and it's the whole event of going to these places that makes it special. I think more than as much as the film. It's like the people you go with. It's that theatre experience. It's that it's the event of going to see something, isn't it? And especially when it first comes out, it's that release of going on the first day to see them special releases and things like that. And I don't think you'd ever get that from a streaming service.
No, you wouldn't, to be honest. I kind of miss IMAX, particularly. To be fair, Chris Nolan has actually said that he doesn't really want cinema to die strictly for the cinematic experience.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, so we'll kind of see if his wish to keep cinemas going runs true. Hopefully we'll get through this in probably next 6 months to a year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so aside from out of acting, what are you passionate about? What are your interests?
My interests, I enjoy walking and cycling, but I also have a passion for antiques, which is basically was my main job for a long, long time. I did used to work in an auction house as well, as an auction manager and an auctioneer.
Oh, did you?
And I love antiques. I love the history behind them, the social history and everything.
I tell you what, you'd like my dad. He loves going antique shopping. He's actually a big fan of like bargain hunt.
Oh yeah, me too.
Maybe I could get you.
I've been on the antiques road trip a few times.
Have you?
Yeah, when I had the shop, so a couple of times we done some filming there.
Yeah, he did.
The auction house where I worked as well.
Yeah, he did actually. He used to watch Antiques Roadshow a lot. We're talking like every Sunday without fail.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what would you say are your career highlights?
My career highlights, I think, as I said, the one Supernova was really good. I really enjoyed that, and I think meeting James Dreyfus as well. Sitting at the dining table with James Dreyfus was quite surreal. When we were filming Supernova, and we had quite a lot of laughs. I really enjoyed that, and there was even a point where I don't eat spicy food, and basically we're filming like a close-up shot, and the director's saying, "Oh, can you eat the food? Because we're doing a close-up shot, so we need you to eat it." And
Yeah.
as I don't eat spicy food, they served us chili.
Oh,
I was
God.
thinking, how am I going to do this? I can't eat it. And so James said to me, "I'll tell you what, I'll pick all the spicy bits out for you." So he picked all the chilies out with his fork and ate them all for me.
Oh, bless him.
Between takes, so that I could just eat the rest. So it was quite funny.
Who says people don't care on a movie set?
I know. That was my thoughts exactly.
All right, so aside from Morbius and everything else you've got coming up, is there anything else you've got coming up?
Coming on, as you know, Supernova's out soon. I'm just trying to think. There are a few that's coming out. There's a film called Anne, which I'm in, which is a TV drama about the Hillsborough disaster.
Oh, yeah. I'll watch that, yeah.
I'm not too sure that the release of that's being pushed back at the moment. Along with a couple of other things, I did Everybody's Talking About Jamie.
Mm.
I was in that one, and a couple of other things. The new series of Tin Star as well, which is due to come out.
Yes. My sister loves Tim Roth. I've no idea why, but
Yeah, brilliant.
but she does. She loves it. I swear to God, my sister loves him so much that she would work. She would work for him if she could.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's like my friend. I've actually got a friend who's had a massive crush on Colin Firth for
Oh, God.
I've probably known her about 30 years. For as long as I've
Wow.
known her, she's had a crush on Colin Firth, and I said to her, I sent her a picture of myself with him when we were filming on it, and she said, "I hate you." I was like, "That's not very nice."
It's not. What you should have done. What you should have done was FaceTime her and just say, "I'm just going to go and get Colin Firth for you."
Yeah, she was absolutely. She said, "I can't believe you're working with him." And then she was like, "Please tell me he's really nice." And I said, "Yeah, he is really nice." Because she was saying, "Oh, I hate." But she said, "I'd hate to think that I had a crush on him all these years, and he was horrible."
Oh, bless her. Right. So, what would you like the future to hold for you?
I'd love to do more acting roles, obviously, I mean, my ideal role, I think, would be as a relation of Julie Walters in Mamma Mia 3, because I've got the right accent, so that'd be good. Or something in Miranda, if they ever make another series, would be fantastic, because I love that show.
They might do. There's always stuff
You
coming
never
back.
know.
Always wish.
But other than that, we'll just have to wait and see what comes up, I guess.
So, if anybody's listening and wants to find you on social media, how would they go about it?
I'm just Tina Louise. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how simple you can find her. Right. So I have a quiz, which I'm going to do now. It's called the Las Vegas quiz, which basically anything you say, any answers you give in this quiz will stay in this quiz. They will not be mentioned. It will not go outside of this conversation. Just so you're all right. Right. So, are you ready?
Good.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What role that you've done has scared you?
Not scared me as such, but I'm guessing working on Bulletproof was quite traumatic because it was quite realistic with all the gunshots and the blanks firing everywhere.
Yeah, it can get quite loud. Right, so tell me something you've never told anybody else about your time on a movie set.
I probably already told you it because I told you about James Dreyfus eating the chilies.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
The chilies after my dinner.
That's fair enough then. All right then, who was your first celebrity crush?
Now, if you'd have to go back to when I was really young, I'd probably say David Soul out of Starsky and Hutch.
Fair enough.
But later on, probably Tom Ellis out of Miranda.
Tom Ellis, you mean Lucifer Tom Ellis?
I do.
Yes, good old...
Which I haven't actually seen yet.
Yeah.
It's on my list to watch.
You really need to watch it. I have seen the first 3 series. It's on, I think it's first 3 on Amazon Prime. It is absolutely brilliant. I will admit I have not watched the new stuff on Netflix, but I'm trying to get round to it. Only problem is there's more stuff coming on streaming than there is actually time to watch. So it's kind of a bit difficult.
Agree with that.
So where were we? Oh yeah, what's the weirdest rumour you've heard about yourself?
That I started off at a younger age as a model.
Wow.
Which I pursued apparently for many years and then decided to go into acting.
Interesting. That's an interesting rumour. Right, so do you prefer movies or TV?
A bit of both, I think.
All right, would you rather play a hero or would you rather play a villain?
Or villain.
Yeah, we Brits seem to have a knack of playing the villain or being typecast as a villain, so we know how to do a villain.
Yeah, it's a bit more gritty, I think, and a bit more to get your teeth into.
Very true. Right, so I'm going to give you a number of movie genres, and you have to put them into a yes or no category as to whether you would actually do them, whether it be a movie or a TV set, or even a game even, because video games are actually quite out of the box thinking. So the genres, I'll list them off one by one, and then you just say yes or no as to whether you would do them. So first genre is sci-fi, science fiction.
Yeah.
You would
Definitely.
do that. I would. Like a drama.
Yeah.
Animated.
Yes.
Horror movie.
Yes.
Ooh. All right, then since I am a bit of a horror buff, I like to call myself a bit of a horror buff. What sort of horror do you like? Because obviously there's supernatural, there's straight up gore.
Probably a bit of the supernatural, but they do scare. If they're quite sort of psychological, I do tend to have nightmares, so I can't watch them before I go to bed.
So there was actually an Exorcist drama out. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So would you do something like that?
Yeah, I'd love to be involved in anything like that.
Yep. There we go, Amazon Prime. Sign her up for the next series of The Exorcist. So where were we? Horror. Right, an action movie.
Yes, definitely.
Western movie.
Oh yeah, that'd be good fun.
I know, to be fair, I've got comedy and romance in 2 separate ones, but technically they both can be the same, so I'll say rom-com.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, you'll probably reject this, because I know I would, but any video game that's been turned into a movie, so like your Resident Evils, your Uncharted...
I don't know, I think it'd be quite interesting to be a part of, and it's something sort of different, isn't it?
It just depends on the video game, though, that it's being based on.
Yeah, I probably would do, though.
Right, so while on the subject of video games, do you play them at all?
Not now. I did do many years ago, but I don't now.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a former gamer amongst us. Always nice to hear.
Time, I think.
Right, so obviously with video games and animation, it's a case of lending your voice and likeness to it. So depending on what it is inevitably, would you be open to lending your voice and likeness to a game or animation?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting, wouldn't it?
Definitely. So if you binge watch, do you binge watch programs on Amazon, Netflix, Apple TV or Disney Plus?
Usually Netflix. Although I do watch Amazon Prime, and I am a big Disney fan too.
I must admit, I have watched a lot on Amazon Prime. A lot. They've got a lot more quality on there than everybody thinks.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm quite new to Amazon Prime actually, so I'm only just sort of seeing what's on there and getting to watch them. So it's just finding out, and then somebody will say, "Oh, have you seen this?" And it's sort of like, so I've got a big list of things I need to watch that I haven't got around to yet.
Oh, with Halloween next weekend, I will give you some that I've been watching. There's it's called Welcome to the Bloom House, where there's 4 movies. They're all about an hour and a half each. One's like one of them's actually got Joey King from Kissing Booth in it.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think it's called, one's called The Lie, one's called Black Box, one's called Nocturne, I think it is. I think the other one's called Evil Eye, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm going to watch it tonight. But yeah, they're all good. You'll find them anyway, and say if anyone wants to watch them, they are on Amazon Prime, and they've only just recently come on.
I'll have a look out for them then,
yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah, what's your nightmare role and your dream movie role?
Ooh. I don't know really. I don't think I'd have a nightmare role because I'd quite like to have a go at anything. My dream role, as I said, would be to be in something like Mamma Mia 3, or like a musical one where there's like loads of flash mob dancers and it's all action, all that sort of fun stuff.
All right then, here's one for you. Would you rather be in Hollyoaks or Emmerdale, because you have starred in them both?
No, I think Emmerdale.
Oh, sticking to the Yorkshire.
I do love them both. So if anyone's listening, I do love them both. But I think Emmerdale just kind of edges it for me.
I'm a Holly. I'm not really a fan of soaps that much, but I do actually, if I was going to watch something, I would watch Hollyoaks, because I do like it.
Yeah, Hollyoaks is quite, I think it's aimed at the younger audience. I think Emmerdale, although it's got quite a lot of young followers, I think is sort of across the board.
Yeah. Right, so final couple of questions. So out of all the TV series and the movies you've been in, which would you like to have had a bigger role in?
Again, either Supernova or All Creatures Great and Small, which is from one extreme to the other. But they're I think one of my favourites. I did enjoy ABC Murders as well, and I got to meet John Malkovich, was like an actor when I was growing up that I always watched on television, and then never ever dreamt I'd meet him.
You've met John Malkovich?
Yeah, and he was such a lovely man, and it was just like so surreal that I was on a train carriage with him on ABC Murders, and we were chatting about the weather, and I thought, this is just such a strange job.
Do you know what? I'm gonna mail John Malkovich's agent, because I love John Malkovich. I really do. He is so funny. Right. So, oh yes, that's the next question. Was there any TV or movies that you would have loved to have done but couldn't for whatever reason? I know we have gone over the Batman that you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
But is there anything else?
The only other one I'd love to have been involved with, which was before my time, which was Back to the Future.
Oh, who wouldn't want to do that?
I think it's like, them films that were out sort of around that period, and all them sorts of films, you think they're like classics now, and people are still watching them, and like my children are watching them, and it's like I'd love to have done that movie because it was just so iconic.
Which I hope never gets rebooted. Just let anybody listening
I think it'd just ruin it.
Just let everybody who's listening who doesn't know how iconic Back to the Future is. That is one of the movies that you are not allowed to touch. I think even Robert Zemeckis has said, as long as I'm alive, it will not be touched.
No, definitely
which is a bit
not.
of a relief.
It's one of them, and if anybody hasn't seen it, they need to watch it. They need to watch the whole series of it. It's just so fantastic.
Which is actually on Amazon Prime. By the way, I should be
be
charging Amazon Prime bloody commission for all the free promotion I'm doing for them.
I know, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Right, last question. It's actually a bit, some people would find this a bit tough, because it's like thinking on the spot, but I think you'll do quite well. So, name me 10 or 20 actors or actresses that you haven't starred with yet that you would like to star with in a movie or a TV series before you retire.
I think I'd like to work with Julie Walters, actually.
That's one.
Helena Bonham Carter.
2.
Meryl Streep.
3.
Can I say the whole of the cast after Mamma Mia.
I think that would probably be all of it. I think.
And all of the Doctor Who's.
Oh, all right. Which Doctor Who is your favourite? I already know who my favourite is. By the way, I am talking about the newest lot. So Chris Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker. Those 5 are what I'm on about. So, which one is your favourite?
David Tennant,
Yeah.
I think, but I think Jodie Whittaker as well has done a fantastic job, although it's quite controversial and everyone's like, oh, female Doctor and all the rest of it, but I actually think she's brilliant.
I must be honest, I am a David Tennant fan myself because he's just David Tennant, and I did enjoy Matt Smith, but as soon as Peter Capaldi came on board, I was like, no, I'm not, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, that's it, isn't it? I think he just played it so well. But as I said, because of the Jodie Whittaker thing, and it was so controversial, wasn't it, to bring her in. And I think she just plays the part so well, and she just suits it, I think.
So on that, and on our shared bond of our love for David Tennant as Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen, Tina Louise Owens.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.